Welcome to the Iceland Food Centre. Today we are going to make Icelandic fish stew, or Plokkfiskur. It might not look overly appetizing, but it is absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's start peeling some potatoes. I prefer using something like Maris Piper, because they mash up wonderfully. If you want a stew with a bit more chunks in it, find a potato that is a bit more waxy. I'm then gonna go ahead and cut these potatoes down into smaller chunks to make it a bit quicker on the boil. Now while those potatoes are boiling, why don't we get on that onion? Take your onion and chop it down finely. Now do try and use a sharp knife for this, because the sharper the knife is, the less you'll push out of that chemical that makes you cry so damn much. Ugh. Let's pop over and make space for the fish, because I totally forgot to heat up the water. You'll need about the same amount of water as you'd use to boil pasta, and then just season it a bit with salt. Now when the water's hit light simmer, carefully lower in your white fish fillets. Traditionally, you're meant to use cod or haddock for this, but this is also traditionally a leftover dish. So today, I'm going to be using pollock. And besides, it's much cheaper. Once the potatoes are at your desired consistency, just pour off the water. I like my potatoes mushy, but if you prefer them with a bit more bite, take them off the hob a little bit earlier. After about 6 minutes, your fish should look a bit like this. The fish is looking firm, so grab your favorite colander and pour off all that fishy water into the sink. You don't have to worry about the fish breaking or anything like that, because it's all gonna get mashed up anyway. Now grab your preferred pot. Under medium-low heat, you're gonna melt some butter and throw in that onion you've just chopped up. Now try not to brown the onion. What you're looking to do is just to sweat the onion to sort of a translucent color. So just keep stirring the onion to making sure it won't burn, and if you feel like you need to add more butter, go right ahead. All that extra butter will be soaked up by the flour we're going to add a little bit later. Under this low heat, this will probably take a good few minutes. And by the time your onion looks a bit like this, it's time to start to make a kind of bechamel sauce. Yes, I know, it sounds all very fancy, but it's actually really very simple. Take 3 tablespoons of flour and drizzle them over your sweated onions using my patented drizzling technique, or do it your way. I'm not the boss of you. Combine it well, making sure there are no dry spots in the flour, and cook it for a minute or so to reduce that flour flavor. Next up, milk. Now, I like to do it in 2 goes. First, about a ladleful, and then to be followed by the rest. Adding the milk gradually allows you to control the consistency of this Frankenstein bechamel a bit better. See, some people like Plokkfiskur more firm and others like it more wet. Once you reach your desired consistency, it's time to add the fish. Now break the fish down into smaller pieces and combine it well into the bechamel. Once that is done, it's time to add the potatoes. Again, mix it all well together, breaking down the pieces into sizable chunks. Depending, of course, how chunky you like your potatoes to be. I like mine really small and broken into tiny pieces. If you find the stew is too dense, you can always add a little bit more milk until it reaches a consistency you like. So I went ahead and added a little bit more milk before adding my seasoning, which for us is going to be salt and white pepper, which is the signature flavor of this dish. Mix thoroughly and season to taste. And now for a quick taste test, after which I decided it was absolutely perfect and it was time to reward myself with a bowl of Plokkfiskur and rúgbrauð. And there we are, the legendary Plokkfiskur. Truly great. This simple traditional Icelandic dish is truly greater than the sum of its parts. And there really is nothing like serving this up with Icelandic rúgbrauð, absolutely covered in butter. There's just really no words. If you truly want to experience a taste of Iceland, go check out our Icelandic rye bread recipe and make this and you're in heaven. And if you want more like this, make sure you subscribe to get more of these videos in the future. Thanks for watching, og verið ykkur að góðu.